Yo, 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 welcome back to the MMA Short Show. It's always your boy, Steven Moustaris. And guys, let's get straight into it. Ilia Topuria this weekend, man. Holy moly, did he look good. I mean, first off, I definitely did a video last week kind of hyping him up, talking about how he's the next big thing. Like, I've been talking about it the last couple fights, but, he's finally got his first main event. He's finally, in the spotlight, and people are finally here saying it. Like, oh my gosh, he's the truth. This guy's good. And before we get too wild, even myself, because I'm first aboard the Topuria train, I definitely need to, maybe pump the brakes just a tad here and maybe just calm it down. As impressive as he looked against Josh Emmett, the patience, the defense, the way he just honestly looked like he was the more veteran fighter compared to a Josh Emmett. Honestly, it was impressive. And it was just the way he kind of, like I was saying, I think he's kind of more like he performed more like a Piotr Jan or like Anderson Silva type thing where, I'm not saying he's as good yet, but I'm just saying like the way that they'll take off the first minute of the fight and just, act like a computer, just get you in, analyze you. And then as soon as we get your speed down, as soon as we get your timing down, it's on. Like, here we go. We start hitting you. We start letting things go. And he was in control of the entire fight. It was impressive as you can possibly be. And I love Josh Emmett. Shouts out to him for, just the heart that he showed. And, going out there, and I was kind of worried after the fight. It looked like he might have retired, but, he was just taking his gloves off, and he said he might be back and whatnot. So I was kind of worried there, but, you don't like seeing him get his ass beat like that. But, the heart was there. He still was firing everything he could. It was impressive, but, let's be real here, guys. If I'm playing devil's advocate here, we're talking about a Josh Emmett, a little older now, not technically in his prime anymore. It's a guy that's, it works really well in your early career, in the early stages of MMA or even boxing, stuff like that. If you're a heavy hitter, like, yeah, you're going to take a punch to give one out. And then, of course, what we've seen with Josh Emmett, like against the Yair Rodriguez, even like against somebody who's got, a really good boxing, like Michael Johnson. And, like we just seen with Ilia Topuria, like once we get into that level of guys that are like actually can time you up and give you the work and whatnot, like that's where he's probably going to start melting down a little bit. So, I got to sit here. I got to calm down because as much as I think he could be the next champion, we still got to look at some of these matchups out there. Like somebody, like I couldn't imagine right now Topuria versus Arnold Allen fight. Like I was there live. I'm a broken record. I'll say it when I said Max Holloway too. Like I was live against the Max Holloway and Arnold Allen fight there in Kansas City, Missouri. It was a phenomenal fight. But, dude, just to see it firsthand, Arnold Allen is athletic, strong. Like, he's not going to get pushed around, I think, like last night, like Josh Emmett did, who, I thought he were, maybe not even last night, a couple nights ago, but just some of the way he was getting stuck with that jab was just filthy, man. Topuria was just sitting him down. And I don't think Topuria is going to do that against somebody a little bigger like an Arnold Allen. And honestly, I don't think he's going to do it to like a Max Holloway either. And that's it's going to get tough, man. Like, honestly, it's going to get tough here. As great as he is, and that's if we're putting him up in the conversation with the Max Holloways, the Volkanovskis, the Yair Rodriguez's already, like, man, just some phenomenal fights. Like, this guy's clearly going to be great. So, that's the thing. I think an Arnold Allen fight, I think he could get it done, but I think Arnold Allen showed his chin against Max Holloway. He took some vicious kicks, took some vicious hits. Like you saw at the end of the fight, he got dropped. I think he would be a real fun fight for Ilia Topuria. That would be fireworks, actually. No, even a guy like Brian Ortega, I think that would be a phenomenal fight. Like, as good as, Ilia Topuria looked against a wrestler like Josh Emmett, it would be fun to see him, like, try to get out of certain things. Like, we saw, like, as great as Volkanovski is, he still even got caught up in some of the shit that Ortega was throwing up. And then, of course, the awkwardness of Yair Rodriguez, I think that would be really tough. I think we've seen Yair hit a bunch of people. As much as, we've seen Yair get hit, the dude is very awkward, and there's no training for him. And then, of course, just the pressure of Volk and, Max Holloway, I really think would give him some problems still. And, I just don't think, as much as I thought he looked good, as much as I thought he looked like the veteran this past weekend against a Josh Emmett, I really was impressed with his gas tank and all these things. But to be fair, it's really easy to look good and look like you have a great gas tank when you're fighting your own fight, when you're fighting your own pace, which for real, Ilia, it's not like Josh Emmett gave it to him and allowed him to. Just he went out there and took it. And that's just not something you're going to do most likely against a Volk or, Holloway. That's why those guys are so successful. So, as much as I'm hyped up for him, I'm happy for him. I'm happy this is like, honestly, him and Marab, these guys from Georgia and everything. It's fucking amazing. It's cool that we got to see him actually, perform and actually come out and, pass the test on like a Giga Chikadze like that we just saw. So, I'm very excited for him. I'm very happy. It's cool that 145 is back to that. It's always been there kind of, but it's like we're getting some points now where it's big fight feels no matter what it is. Like, we're going to see some guys that are fighting at 6 and 7 that are stacked that we're like, holy shit, this could be our next champion. So that part's super fun. And man, I'm just excited for it. It's finally cool that the rest of the world gets to know this guy. So, as always, your boy Steven Moustaris. You guys let me know if I don't know if Topuria is going to be able to yet. I shouldn't say yet because he's still only 14 fights into his career MMA professional. Like as good as he's looking, guys, we have seen those tests. Go bad. Whenever we like, oh, this guy's ready, let's throw him up here, and then Max Holloway takes his ass out, like Ortega was at the one time. Like we see this all the time. So maybe just pump the brakes a tad, but I like everything I'm seeing. So as always, your boy Steven Moustaris, and let's go, baby.